Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, we will be diving into the fascinating and complex world of criminal behavior. Our presentation is titled Understanding Criminal Behavior Theories, Causes, and Interventions. We'll take a comprehensive look at the different theories that explain why crime occurs, explore the root causes behind criminal actions, and discuss effective strategies for prevention and rehabilitation. I'm excited to guide you through this important topic that touches on psychology, sociology, and law enforcement. Let's get started. Criminal behavior refers to actions that break the laws set by society and are subject to government punishment. These behaviors can vary greatly. They might be minor offenses or more serious crimes. But what they all have in common is that they are legally forbidden. Understanding criminal behavior is crucial because it allows us to create effective strategies to prevent crime, control it, and rehabilitate offenders. By gaining this understanding, policymakers and practitioners can better design interventions that lower crime rates and help offenders reintegrate into society successfully. Understanding why people commit crimes is complex, and it calls for a multidisciplinary approach. We can't rely on just one perspective. Instead, we need insights from various fields. First, biological theories look at genetic and physiological factors that might predispose someone to criminal behavior. These focus on how our biology can influence actions. Then, psychological theories explore aspects like personality traits and cognitive processes. Essentially, how a person thinks and feels plays a big role in their behavior. Lastly, the sociological perspective emphasizes the impact of the social environment and societal structures, things like family, peers, and community conditions that shape behavior. Each of these perspectives offers unique explanations, and when combined, they provide a more complete understanding that is crucial for effective crime prevention and intervention strategies. When we look at biological theories of criminal behavior, one major focus is on genetic predispositions. This means certain inherited traits can make someone more prone to impulsivity or aggression, which might increase the likelihood of engaging in criminal acts. Another important aspect involves neurological abnormalities. For example, brain injuries or developmental disorders can impair a person's ability to control their behavior effectively. Lastly, physiological influences play a key role, particularly biochemical imbalances that affect mood and decision-making processes. It's important to understand that while these biological factors may create a predisposition toward criminal behavior, they typically do not act alone. Instead, they interact closely with environmental influences to shape behavior. When we talk about psychological theories of criminal behavior, we're looking at how mental processes and personality traits can influence someone to engage in criminal acts. One key area is antisocial personality disorder and psychopathy, which are often marked by a lack of empathy and remorse, making it easier for individuals to harm others without guilt. Another important factor is cognitive development. When someone's moral reasoning or judgment is impaired, they may struggle to understand the consequences of their actions or distinguish right from wrong. Trauma and mental illness also play significant roles, as they can shape behavioral patterns in ways that increase the likelihood of criminal behavior. Understanding these psychological factors is crucial because it helps guide more effective treatment and rehabilitation programs, tailored to the specific needs of each individual. This approach not only addresses the underlying issues, but also supports efforts to reduce recidivism. When we look at criminal behavior through a sociological lens, the main idea is that the environment around a person plays a big role in shaping their actions. One key theory here is strain theory, which suggests that crime can be a response to social pressures or when people face blocked opportunities, like not being able to achieve their goals through legitimate means. Another important perspective is social learning theory, which argues that criminal behavior is learned by observing and interacting with peers and family members who engage in such behavior. Then there's labeling theory, which focuses on how society's reaction to someone, like labeling them as a criminal, can influence that person's self-identity and future behavior. Factors like poverty, family breakdown, peer influence, and prevailing social norms are all critical components that contribute to these dynamics. Together, these theories help us understand that crime is not just about individual choices, but deeply connected to the social environment. Now, let's look at the main categories of crime. First, we have violent crimes. These involve direct harm or the threat of harm to individuals, such as assault, homicide, and robbery. These crimes tend to have a significant impact on victims' physical safety and well-being. Next, property crimes focus on possessions rather than people. This includes theft, burglary, and vandalism, where the goal is to steal or damage someone's belongings. Then there are white-collar crimes, which occur in business or professional settings. These involve deceptive practices like fraud and embezzlement, often resulting in financial loss. Lastly, cybercrimes are crimes that exploit digital technology. Examples include hacking and identity theft, where criminals use computers and the internet to commit offenses. Each category has distinct characteristics, but all pose serious challenges for law enforcement and society. When we look at the causes and risk factors behind criminal behavior, there are several key areas to consider. First, environmental factors play a big role. This includes things like exposure to violence, poor education, and living in disadvantaged neighborhoods. These conditions can create stress and limit opportunities, increasing the likelihood of engaging in criminal activity. Next, there are genetic factors. Some individuals may inherit certain predispositions that affect their temperament or their ability to control impulses, which can contribute to criminal behavior. Social factors are also crucial. Experiences like childhood abuse, substance abuse, peer pressure, and economic hardship can significantly influence a person's choices and behavior. Understanding and recognizing these risk factors is especially important because it helps us design targeted prevention strategies and intervene early, potentially steering individuals away from a path of crime. Here we can see the trends in crime rates over the past several years, focusing on both violent and property crimes. What stands out is a consistent decline in both categories from 2017 to 2023. Violent crime rates dropped from 50 incidents per 100,000 people in 2017 down to 40 in 2023. Similarly, property crime rates have steadily decreased from 75 to 60 incidents per 100,000 during the same period. This downward trend suggests improvements in public safety and possibly effective crime prevention strategies. It's important to monitor these trends closely as they provide valuable insights into where resources and efforts are making the most impact. Criminal profiling and behavior analysis are crucial tools in understanding and predicting offender behavior. The primary purpose of these profiling methods is to use various approaches to get a clearer picture of the offender's actions and motivations. One key technique is crime scene analysis, where we carefully examine the evidence and the offender's actions at the scene. This helps us uncover patterns that may reveal important details about the crime. Another important aspect is offender profiling, which focuses on identifying personality traits and behavioral patterns to create a detailed profile of the suspect. Finally, psychological evaluation plays a critical role by assessing the mental state and potential risks associated with the offender, which not only supports the investigation, but also helps law enforcement develop effective strategies to manage the case. Together, these techniques provide a comprehensive approach to understanding criminal behavior. When we talk about interaction with the criminal justice system, it's important to understand the distinct roles each part plays. First, policing is all about investigation and making arrests. Officers are responsible for gathering evidence and ensuring that suspects are taken into custody when necessary. Next, the courts come into play. They handle the trial process, making decisions about guilt or innocence through adjudication, and then determine appropriate sentencing based on the case. Finally, corrections focus on what happens after sentencing. This includes incarceration in prisons or jails, supervising individuals who are on probation or parole, and importantly, working towards rehabilitation to help offenders reintegrate into society. Each component is crucial to the overall functioning of the system. When we talk about prevention strategies and rehabilitation, there are several important components to consider. First, community programs play a vital role by promoting education, providing social support, and actively engaging youth. These initiatives help create positive environments and steer individuals away from negative influences. Next, law enforcement strategies focus on targeting specific hotspots and repeat offenders to reduce crime rates more effectively. On the rehabilitation side, Efforts such as counseling, skill building, and substance abuse treatment are essential for helping individuals reintegrate into society and avoid falling back into old patterns. Finally, combining prevention and rehabilitation approaches has proven to be the most effective way to lower recidivism rates and create safer, healthier communities for everyone. When we look at the impact of criminal behavior on society, there are several key areas to consider. First, the economic costs are significant. These costs include expenses related to law enforcement, health care for victims, and the loss of productivity. When people are unable to work due to crime, beyond the financial aspect, crime also has deep psychological effects. Victims and entire communities can experience fear and trauma, which can be long lasting and disrupt daily life. On a broader scale, crime can lead to changes in society itself. Communities might face weakened cohesion and a decline in trust among residents, making it harder to maintain a safe and supportive environment. Understanding these diverse impacts is crucial because it highlights why effective crime control measures are so important, not just to reduce crime rates, but to protect the overall well-being of society. Now, let's look at some real-world case studies that really bring these concepts to life. First, we have cases where biological and psychological factors play a significant role in influencing criminal behavior. These examples help us understand how individual predispositions can affect actions. Next, we examine how the social environment impacts crime, with specific instances showing how surroundings, such as family or community, can drive someone towards criminal acts. Finally, we consider the judicial challenges these cases present, including difficulties in prosecution and approaches to rehabilitation. Overall, these case studies deepen our understanding by linking theoretical ideas directly to real practical outcomes.